Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube. What's going on, people? This is Inflewence, and I thank you for joining me. I have another Transformers review today. This is Transistor from KFC. Yes, I'm late, I know. So if you're watching this, I appreciate it. Here's a look at the accessories and everything that you get in the box. Take a check, check out the box, I should say. So we have KFC box, which is their old school boxes. I don't know if they still do this, but I know a few of theirs have the window. So that's pretty dope. I always like good boxes. Got some blueprints of him, and that's cool. So on the box, I think you get his comic head. So let's look at the accessories that you get. Move him over a little bit. So you get his comic head, and I just need to add this caveat that I've been using that word a lot lately. I don't know why, but so I bought this from Jisk, which he's a Transformers collector. He's in the groups. He's on couple podcasts, couple things here and there. Unfortunately, he's out the game, the collector's game, and he's selling everything he has. So there'll be a link in the description to his Facebook. Send him a Facebook message. He still has a ton of stuff, because if you know him, you knew that he collected 2 of every character. I believe he has like 2 of every character, and he has a lot of fan toys for the fan toys people out there that are interested. And yeah, he still has a bunch of stuff. He sold a bunch, but still has a bunch because, like I said, he has 2 of every console. Show him some love if you're looking for something, and holler at him. Like I said, the link in the description where you can message him on Facebook. That's the only way I know how to get in contact with him now. And I say that to say this, that the comic head, this I believe is the comic book head for Blaster. It may have came on here. I didn't get a chance to ask him because the other heads on here, the toy head, the more cartoon head, I should say. And this is this face, I guess. You see that, which isn't bad. I like the yellow eyes. I don't really like that face because I don't really know it. It's the tape for Rewind. That's Rewind. Yeah, Rewind is inside. We'll get to that. You get 2 of these, which are his speakers that go on his hands. Get a couple cards. Get one for, well, they call them Hi-Fi, but that's Rewind. And get one for Blaster. 2 instruction sheets. This is for Rewind and this is for Blaster. So we can move right along on that front. What else we have here? We have 3 guns, which I believe they're exactly the same. And therefore Rewind. That's cool. They give you 3, I guess, in case you lose one. You have it. You have this. I believe this is eyes for Blaster's head. You could take out the eyes. Not sure the difference between the cut, maybe a color variant. And you also get faces for Rewind. Just this face and this face. I assume, and the face that's on them, which we'll see. And I assume they're comic book faces. Maybe the comic book, this cartoon, and the toy. Possibly. Not sure. And here's the main event. You got Blaster. So yeah, Blaster, I like this figure. It's not the greatest. It does have some issues, some flaws. It's panel-y, and to get it into this mode, it starts out in robot mode. So I'm going from this mode to robot. But to get it here, you have to line up a lot. It's not hard at all, but I will give you some tips. These guns go in here. They fold up. The barrels come off and they slide in here. You'll see me take them out when I do the transformation. Let me put it this way. I don't know why I had it upside down. You slide the barrels into these things, but it's easier to do it while you're transforming it. If you do it afterwards, it's hard to get it in because this part slides back and forth. When it's slid up, that's when you can insert these and it's easier. Then you can just slide them back. Same thing with this. Like, it's just easier to get them. You can get them in after. I have got them in after, but let's take a look at this. Got the boom box. I think it's pretty great. I got the symbol. I think just put that on there. And you got this. I'm not sure if he put that on there or if it came with it. It looks like a rub symbol, which is pretty dope if it came with it. Either way, it's dope if you put it on there or if it came with it, but I'm not sure. So you got little details, little yellow. Yellow doesn't look the greatest, but it's all right. It is a handle. Handle's pretty sturdy. It's in there. You got the details on the side, the equalizer. Got these things right here. I believe they're stickers. And you got the headphone jack and the microphone jack. On that side, on this side, got volume control, balance, power, some more sticker detailing. And the back is pretty much, but then you got underneath that is pretty non-clean. But it's okay because don't nobody want to see that for me. And you have the buttons here. Got JVC. You got some detailing on the top. It's not too much detailing, but it's pretty faithful. So you got the buttons of, I think they're stickers. You push that button and it opens this, and then you have rewind. Now rewind is a panel-y mess, but he does have the detailing of the tape. So it does look like a tape, but it's just a bunch of panels and screws, which is hard to see. And then this, you basically see his body. So we'll transform, rewind, get him out of here. This has the same mechanism that Soundwave had. And oh wait, let me show. So there's a button on the back. He can fit 3 tapes. Unfortunately, I don't have any but him because that's the only one that came with him. You can buy the other tapes, but I don't know if they're still available. This is a pretty old figure. Push that button and this pops out. You see it gets stuck a little bit, but then you can push it back 3 times, and I believe 3 tapes can fit in there at once. So pretty cool. Put that to the side for now. You got this guy, which he's pretty straightforward. Just pull him up like this at the waist. He's pretty loose. Pull his legs out. Then you get him like this. Let me see. Yeah. Then you gotta pull his feet out, his feet around. Push this up like that. You got a leg done. Pull his leg out again. You want the black part on the outside. Pull his feet around, and you push this little toe part up. Makes it more of a foot, and you just pull these arms out and come down, and you situate his elbow properly, and you can move his fist. His fist moves the other way in order to get him transformed. It's backwards, so then you just flick his head up, flick, I hope I said, and there he is. Rewind, Hi-Fi. No, I'm never gonna call him Hi-Fi. Rewind. So his waist is pretty loose, and I try to snap it to get in, and I pull it apart, which I just put it right back together. It's probably no problem. Zoom in a little bit, see his features. He does have some paint chipping, but I can tell just took very good care of this. This is secondhand, so I gotta expect what I expect. I did get this for a pretty decent price, and it was with shipping. So, I mean, it was cheaper than I could have got it if I bought it new. Let me put it that way. And everything isn't like that. So mitigate your expectations if you're looking for fans toys, just to be clear. There's a difference between scalping and market value. So if you don't know that, I would suggest don't ask about fans toys, because you know they go up in market value, especially figures that aren't around too much anymore. So anyway, let's get back to this. He is a little loose, and I believe he was loose. I didn't watch too many reviews on this guy. I think a long time ago I did. I don't like watching reviews right before I do a review because I don't want to get tainted. But his articulation, you see his guns, I'm not putting them all the way. They can go all the way, but because of paint, they stop pretty much there, and I would have to force them, and it probably is going to scrape all the paint off. So articulation, you get his arms, you get his elbow. He has like a double, he does have a double jointed elbow, but the gun gets in his way. He can get shoulder up like that, which is nice. Get his legs all the way. He's a tape, so can't get all the way out. It doesn't look like it. Got about that much. I mean, that's about what you need. You get more than, it's not really double. Well, it is double jointed, so you can get way more. But again, he's a tape, so transformation is what it is. And he does have ankle tilts, forward, back. It's on a ball joint, so he gets way back, a little bit up, and he gets side to side somewhat. And his head moves all the way around, of course. I think I showed his face. There he go. So move on to the, I gotta back up a little bit. Move on to the main event, which is this guy, and I will transform him now. It's like a double, you know, over top clamp kind of joint, which works pretty well. There's tabs. It tabs in here. It tabs into the back here. It on the side, it's like soft tabs right there, so it's not extremely hard. But those are the tabs right there that tab into here. I'm lucky I didn't break that just now. I never did that before. Usually you just you want to untab it from there. This is like the hardest it's been tabbed in. Before I couldn't get it tabbed in. So there we go. That wasn't the most graceful. Get all this stuff because this is his waist joint, and you just want to get him out like this. Then you can try to take this off just because it's going to be in your way. Pull that over. I'll take this one off too. Going to be in your way, and I'll show that. He becomes a robot. So with his waist, you put it together, and then there's a notch there. You can kind of see it. And in the back, there's a notch that you can kind of see. You just got to line it up correctly. And actually, you can turn this now. It's going to have to turn. Not sure if the clearance. Yeah, it's all right. It does get some good clearance. So I usually turn it just so I can get his legs where I need it to be. This never went in too well for me. And I could have it, it could be off a little and not going in right, but it doesn't really matter. Let's get these legs. So these legs, they're kind of tricky, but not really. That makes sense. It will. You'll see. So this, all this would be like this, and I believe, yeah, it's like this. So you pull this out, flip this around, bring this way, and before you clamp this, you clamp it back. But before you do that, you want to move this out the way so you can pull these feet out. And they just flip down, flip around. Then you can move this up here and get this in there like this. Like that. Then now you can flip this, push this up here, and then this tab goes into there. just, it pretty much gets it right. Then you can pull this out, the heel spur, and you pretty much got a leg done. You just got to situate it. So in order to situate it, once you turn this, this is why I turn this around, so I know which way the leg's supposed to go. So now you have it right, and you just want to get it anatomically correct. Also, this front part in radial form, it's like this, but then you move this around, and how you can tell, these red dots will show at the bottom, and this grill will be at his knee. So over here, we do the same thing, and this is already almost done. And the red goes inside where you can kind of see inside his leg. So you put that back. Then you want to get this out, pull this leg out. Might as well flip out this, well, I'll flip it out right like that. Then you flip this back. Put this like this, then it goes into this little cavity right here. All nice and snug. Then this goes over and you kind of put it in that hole. Then you can flip this all the way out and move his leg how he should be standing. You pretty much got the legs done. Make sure he's a little top heavy now because of all this up here, but we're going to do all this now. So with this, want to just, this tab's in the back. It's not a great tab, so it will come out sometimes, but it is what it is. This is tabbed in the shoulder. See, all this, when you're going into radio, you got to have all this tabbed in correctly. So what I do first is lift this tab up and just leave it up because you got to get the fist out. So I'll show you what I mean. You just leave that up. Then I'll put this out like this, and then you can deal with all this right here. This already moved forward somewhat, but you can move it all the way forward, and that way you have access to the gun barrel. Over here again, you untab it if you need to. Flip this up, which I just did it, and push this forward. Now you have access to these gun barrels, which I will try. They're pretty hard to get off. They're in there tight. As you can see, they just go in with that peg. Can't get them out. But try not to put too much force, because this is all plastic. That's one of the gripes I have. It's not as hefty as I would like it, but I still like the figure. So once you do that, this is tabbed in there. You want to try to lift this up like that. Push this up. Then you can push both sides up. Since you lifted that up, you can put it back down. And this will go and make sure it's all the way up. And then it'll fold like this, an accordion. And this little tab here will go in here. It's not even really a tab. Like, you see how it sticks out? It like rests in this little space. Gotta get it folded. It's not that hard. It's hard behind the camera. Everything's harder behind the camera. So you get that little space like that and pretty much have it back how you should have it. Now this, it's not tricky, but it can be a pain. It already came up. You just want to open that, get the fist out. And actually, I'm going to leave the fist in just so I can show off it. No, I'll do it later. I'll leave it in. I'll do the whole transformation. So you pull the fist out and then you want to close this. After you close it, then you can close this. This section's like on a double hinge, so be careful. You have it up how it should be in radio. It's tight. So you want to like kind of grab it and move it down. Then you can move it down. And that goes like that. Then you can get this situated. Move this down like this. Wait, what am I doing? Yeah, this covers this up, kind of all this mess. Then you have this. Got this combobulated. Then you just get this right as anatomically correct. Again, this over here I will show a little bit better since it's closed. Just want to lift that up, flip out the fist. If you have the fist like this going in, it's easier to flip out. The fingers don't get caught. Push this down, then you have this. Double hinge it down, flip that back. Then you move this up, move this over, and it tabs in. Then you just get the arms correct where it needs to be. His thumb up, last but not least. Flip out his head, close this, and now you have Blaster. So there he is. I really enjoy his transformation. I know some people thought it was oh, right here. I see this is contention when I look at some people comments on the figure. When people post pictures, they have this down here and it bothers people, which I can understand. This is the proper thing, the proper alignment. So yeah, let's bring in his boy, his minion. Rewind. Show them together. It's hard. I really need a new review table, maybe a harder table, but I don't like the hard table because it makes noises. So I can't win. I can't really, it's hard to get some figures to stand up on this table and others it's great. Let me try to fake the font. Have him up against him a little bit. Guns are easy. Just flip that up, stick this in there, which the sight, have the sight sticking up. And that goes in well. That's not tight, but it's tight enough where it's not gonna move and not gonna go anywhere. But when you put it in the back of him, it's very, very tight. Again, same, has the same Masterpiece version, normal or Masterpiece hole, you know, notch in that palm. It does hold pretty well. Sometimes it'll fall out, but it still holds he still holds it pretty well. The fingers aren't as floppy as my Retgar. So his guns, one thing that I really, really like is how they cut his gun to fit in his arm because it's so long, it's accurate. But at the same time, I mean, he can't get my favorite pose with the double joint and having it straight up, but still he can have the shooting pose in it. Even though the barrel's long, it cuts into here, so he can still get like a angle. So yeah, you got, he's pretty articulate. I do dig him. I think he looks the part and I like it. Not sure when another one was gonna come. I've been meaning to get the figure for a while. I just didn't until you know, came across just posts. Wanted to see. So articulation, let's go through articulation for him. So his head moves all the way around. That's the little piece that I think you can, and I see now that this is blue under my lights. I can see like this is a light blue and his eyes are light blue. I may replace that, I don't know. And this is more of a clear blue, but I don't know if it'll look dead. Kind of like the light blue. So you can get up, but it doesn't stay up. I'm not sure what that's about. And he doesn't stay down really. So you just get the straight face. Got friction all the way around. I thought it looks like from here that he has a shoulder articulation. but I guess not. No, that's just it's just screwed in there. It's just the way it is. So his shoulder articulation is inside the shoulder. So he does get his arms up. He has a double joint. I believe he has a double joint. It is, but he doesn't really get much because of how big his forearms is. You got bicep swivel. His hands, his fingers are all on ball joints and they're all knuckled. So that's not typically, I don't know if I like that, but it's not floppy like my rec guard. My rec guard was floppy. He has waist swivel, and you do gotta be careful. This stuff in the back does hit, but he can get a pretty good waist swivel. It's not bad. Actually, you can get all the way around. So that's good. I didn't realize that. He does have individual, except for the back. So he hits back here, so that articulation is pretty limited. Also, his waist comes apart a lot and it doesn't stay. He has a really, really soft ratchet that does not keep. So I don't know if that's wear or if that's just how it is, but just so you know, that may happen to yours if it's not already. He does get, I should say 90 degrees. I was gonna say double jointed, but it's not. It's 90 degrees and not double jointed. He has a swivel at the thigh. He also, he doesn't have a swivel, but it's just that soft ratchet. I was trying to get him out. So he has a hard ratchet out, which is weird. He has a hard ratchet out and he does get the splits and it holds very well. Yet he has soft ratchets forward and back, which I would think you would need. I don't know though. It just depends on your posing, what you would need. And his toe, he has a little bit of toe up, a little bit down. He has a good tilt. Outward isn't too much, but you don't really need outward anyway. And these things move, of course. He can still eject. And the back is pretty clean. His toe, well, his spurs, you can go down. Heel spurs. And as I was saying, the back is pretty clean. I really like him. I like the way he looks. So let's compare him to, well, let me show you this accessory. So in order to do this, you have to flip the arm. So you have to get him back into, get his arms back into, or his hands back into the way that he was. Then you put him back down. It's not too bad though. Get this one. See, it didn't take that long. It's just you gotta do all this stuff to get the hands out. Make sure you have the hands this way, because then it's easier to get them out. Then you have those two posts, and his speakers just go right into his hands. And then he has the Beats, like Arby's, except it's the Beats. So that looks pretty dope. That's cool. So let me bring in a comparison. So we have Soundwave. You can see what he looks like there. Pretty much same size, same build, same look. This was the early, the early design. Then you have Optimus. So I think that's pretty good too. If I get him to stand on this soft. So yeah, then you have Optimus. He's a little bit smaller than Optimus, which I think that's okay too. Target Master, which I think that's Blur's Target Master. I can't remember. I don't even remember Target Master names, but You can see they're about the same size as the tapes. It's pretty cool. I don't know where my masterpiece tapes are. Let me see if I can find one. My masterpiece tapes are in storage because I have the MMC versions with the big, you know, the bigger versions, and they're the ones that I use besides Laserbeak, which was on Starscream. It's late on Soundwave. But yeah, so that's a good little battle there. Bring a target master with a tape, and they're about the same size. I like the way that looks. So yeah, this is Blaster KFC's Transistor. Really, if you've enjoyed this video, I appreciate you coming here and spending time with me. It's pretty long. If you stayed to the end, I really appreciate you. And if you're in the line again, if you're looking for some figures, I will leave a link in the description to just Facebook page. Just send him a Facebook message. If you don't have Facebook, I don't know what to tell you, because that's the only way I know how to get in touch with him. So if you don't have Facebook, I don't know what to tell you. To tell you the truth, I was gonna say something, but I don't know. So I appreciate you being here, and I already said that, and I will get up in the next video.
Ain't no, life ain't no, life ain't no, life ain't no. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.